Good evening, everybody. Learning, as we all know, is a dynamic and a two-way process. Although the virus has taken a huge toll on us, it can never stop us from learning, unlearning, and sharing our knowledge. Neonates, as we all know, are neither small adults nor small child, right? So they are very tiny creatures, vulnerable, have very dynamic physiology, at a very high risk of developing all anesthesia-related adverse effects, and they belong to a very high group of mortality rates. But we cannot forget that they are fighters. Although they desaturate very fast, become apneic very quickly, develop sudden cardiac arrest, they are also easy to revive. So the key of success is constant vigilance, rapid recognition of any events, swift interventions. Yes, a full-term healthy, normal birth weight baby with no comorbidities exists, but unfortunately, they don't usually come to us. Hence, our neonates may be in low birth weight, premature with associated cardiac and congenital anomalies, and disturbed immature physiologies and anatomies. So, our approach has to be a little different from the grown-up children. This topic is itself vast, very difficult to summarize in such a short time, but I shall definitely try my best. We will not be discussing in details the anatomy and physiology here, but concentrate more on the basic principles and practical solutions. This would be our roadmap for the next 30 to 40 minutes. First, let's begin with prematurity. Those of us who have handled at least one child weighing around, say, 750, 800 grams, we understand how difficult it is to handle them. So what is prematurity? It is defined and classified on the basis of gestational age. The cutoff is 37 to 38 weeks, 6 days, beyond which it's full term, before which we have the premature babies. It may be severe, moderate, or borderline. As per the body weights, the low birth weights are less than 2.5 kgs, and the other extreme is extremely low birth weight, less than or equal to 1 kg. The normal levels are between 2.5 to 4.2 kgs. One of the most significant problem among this population is apnea. So what is it? Apnea is defined as cessation of respiration for more than 20 seconds alone or less than 20 seconds with accompanying bradycardia. That is a reduction of heart rate by 30 beats per minute of the basal level, along with cyanosis, pallor, or hypotonia. It is maximum up to 12 hours post-operatively and may continue up to 48 to 72 hours. Hence arises the question and safety of RSI and opioid usage in them. However, there is prophylactic treatment options with caffeine and aminophylline in these babies. Among other problems, we have bradycardia. Hence, we should prefer cardiostable drugs, use atropine pre-operatively, and avoid hypoxia, hypotension, acidosis as far as possible. They are also prone to hypothermia, hence the thermoneutral ambient temperature of 34 degrees should be maintained to prevent excessive heat loss. They are also present with sepsis, for which adequate antiseptic measures needs to be taken. There may be hyaline membrane disease, PDA, hence proper precautions are vital. Handling glucose is also very poor, especially in the first 2 days of life. Other than these, blindness and lung injury due to oxygen toxicity are major concerns. Next, we go to thermal regulation. We all know that neonates have a large surface to body weight ratio, reduced subcutaneous fat, underdeveloped ability to shiver in response to cold, greater body water content, but they have a specific feature of non-shivering thermogenesis, which I'll just discuss in my further slides. The normal temperatures, a full-term baby, somewhere around 36.3, 36.5 degrees Celsius. Environment temperature, 32 to 34 degrees Celsius, and preterm around 34. Hypothermia may be mild, moderate, severe. Severe is less than 32 degrees Celsius.